Hello and welcome to part 20 of the How to Make a Board Game in Unreal Engine 5 now tutorial. In the last video, I think we finished everything on the battle logic, or really battle resolution logic. In this video, it's just going to be a deep dive bug cleaning video. So actually, let's start from the top. So what I'm going to do is just run through everything and make sure everything is working as intended. So we'll do 0 casualties and we'll start with the defender winning, and then we'll do 1 casualty, and then we'll do army wipe. And the things I'm just going to be checking for here are, do these texts at the top prompt correctly, things like that. And now that I'm looking at this, we should begin the game with it being somebody's turn, right? So both players saying waiting for your turn. It should be somebody's turn. So let's actually do that first. And it looks like we actually have the logic built out within our game mode turn-based event on post login. It's this variable it's setting it. So this was set to 4, set it to 2, right, for 2 players. That will do this. Boom, your turn, not your turn. So that is a really easy fix. I'm actually going to set this back to 4 because this map is intended for a 4-player, but that does work. So we're good there. And next, let's continue into the debug here. So, I can't remember. I think we're doing Fender wins and 0 casualties. Perfect. Put this back up. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is we come in with the attacker, battle preview, both are getting notified, the strengths look correct, begin the battle. Both cameras are going to the die roll, so that's good. Battle, you win, you lose, there's scores, here comes casualties, which is 0. Boom, boom. Okay, so I think that's good, right? No bugs. It just seems so abrupt. What I'm thinking in my head is, we implemented a little kind of scrolling message last time. And I'm wondering if we do that again, and it's just kind of like a little, hey, this is what happened. Obviously, the turn cycled, so and you can read the screen and press continue, and you can figure it out. I'm going to play through it one more time, just kind of see. My initial thought was this feels really abrupt, but let's see. Defender wins. Here comes the casualty. You won. You lose. Resolve casualties, which are none. And when I hit continue, it's just kind of over. So I don't know. I'm going to think on this a little more. We obviously had 0 casualties. Your turn ends, which I think we want to do something maybe a little bit more flairful on that, but I think for now that's fine. One more thing I'm going to check on this too is we attacked with 1, let's attack with both. Press continue, they both go back down, press continue, comes here, your turn, okay. Good. And now let's try with the client. So the client attacks. Defender wins. You lose. Resolve casualties. Good. Okay. That seems to work as intended. Now, one thing I do want to change, right? So we have these adjacencies. We click where we're going, and as soon as we click, they all disappear. And we hit withdraw. Ooh, and actually, a couple problems. This is a good bug find. when we hit withdraw, oh man, what is going on? All sorts of weird bugs. We come in, we hit withdraw, you can't unselect. So let's fix that one first. Okay, I think this one's pretty simple. So when we click a tile and we are attacking it, we run this event and we set this indecision true. And then that pops up that widget where you can click attack or withdraw. When we withdraw, we want to turn that variable off. So let me open this up quick because we need to do this on the server. Yeah, so when we hit withdraw, we withdraw from attack client. So I'm going to make this I'm going to make a new custom event. And we'll call this withdraw from attack server, which will run on the server. This will be reliable. Compile. And I'm just going to slide this over. All this is going to do is we'll set this isn't a decision to false. Plug that in. And actually, I'm just going to slice up a little bit. And then what we'll do is withdraw attack client, which is this line. I'll pull this over. So we'll turn off that variable on the server, and then we will run this event to get rid of the widget. And then let's come back into our widget, which is the battle preview widget. And instead of withdraw from attack client, let's do withdraw from attack server. Good. I have a little bit of redundancy actually. I don't even know if this client part is really needed because we have this removed from parent twice, but it doesn't seem to be hurting anything, so let's just leave it. The other thing I wanted to do is when we click to pull up this widget, it's getting rid of our adjacencies, which is something we implemented in the last video, but I don't want that to actually disappear until we commit to the attack. So let's go to this attack tile. I think this might be where we're running this. Yeah, this toggle adjacent tiles. I'm going to cut this, and where I want this to go is when we proceed with the attack server. And I'll show you what this does. And then let's come back up here and plug this in. Just going to slide this over. Okay. So let's test this again. Click this unit, come into attack. We still have the adjacencies. We decide to attack. Now they're gone. That's good. Now the other bug I wanted to check is when we click attack, withdraw. Yep, I think that's good, right? We can attack, we can withdraw, unselect the unit, reselect them, unselect. So the way I kind of see this is like the player, he's thinking about attacking. Oh, okay, there's a little bug. Let me finish my thought though, and we'll try to fix that one after. So grab both units, thinking about attacking, you look and you see, okay, it's a tie. Maybe I don't want to. You can withdraw, you can decide to move your unit somewhere else. Right, really easy. Where this bug was, let me see if I can replicate this. Okay, I think what happened is I was trying to click on him. Yeah, okay. I think that's all that happened. So not necessarily a bug, but kind of a weird effect. So I don't know how to do that really. What happened? It looked like a unit just glitched to the wrong tile, but really what happened is I was trying to select him, and I think I just kind of clicked right next to it. So that's not a big deal. What I do want to look at is I think the on clicked is, yeah, based off the pawn. I don't know. This is something we can think about, but we could put like a collision box around this that's a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit easier to click on the pawn. Um, but I don't think it's a big problem. Okay, and I think that's all good for that deep dive. Let's add in one casualty. Let's go server first. We'll grab one unit first. This will be an army light. We attack. Yep, there's a little pop-up, and the turns cycled, and the client sees it. Okay, let's come in. Now let's attack with the client. Interesting. So when the client attacks, their camera isn't going where it should be. That works well. Okay, turns didn't cycle though. So if turns didn't cycle and the attacker isn't moving and we have an error. Axis trying to read none. What does this do? I think this just changes the text, but it's struggling to read. Okay, I think I know what's going on here. When we cycle turns, how do we set this? Current players, number of players in the game. Yeah, okay. So it's because we have this at 4. So let's actually switch this back to 2. That should cycle turns appropriately. What's happening is it's looking for the third player in the game, basically, which we don't have a third player in the game, so it can't find it. So that'll fix that bug. What was the other issue? We had the client, when they attack, their camera doesn't move where it should be. Let's see if that happens right out of the gate. Okay, so that's really strange. There it works. Hit continue, this goes away. Army is wiped. Okay, server comes in, they attack. Yeah, okay, so it's the second time. Then this camera's not moving. Let's see if I attack again. Yeah, okay, so, oh, and a whole host of errors. We're gonna come back to this because it's something I think I noticed earlier with in the bottom left, we have which units you have selected. I don't think this has been setting right anyway, so this is erroring out, which makes sense. So we'll come back and look at this in a bit. So what I want to figure out is why the client's camera is not moving. Should remember how we're doing that. So in the event graph, from attack. So when we proceed with the attack, we attack the tile, toggle the adjacent goes off. So when we attack the tile in the game mode, we're setting all this stuff. Let's look at this widget again. Just begin battle. I think this is what prompts the unclicked, yeah, roll the dice, which remove all die, call spawn die event. Which this is either on the game mode or our level. I think this is in the level, so we get that up in Unreal Engine 5. Oh, there we go. I don't know how to get the level blueprint up. Levels? Hmm. Come on, I'm still learning UE5 here. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so list of blueprints, this thing, open level blueprint. Okay. In here, so I'm looking for call spawn die. I think that's in here. Event to, let's see, game mode. So actually, this might be in the game mode. Spawn die. Let's just see. Where is this coming from? All right, let me look. I'll be back. Okay, I get it. So we're calling this event spawn die from the game mode turn based, and then all that is doing is then it's running it here. Well, more accurately, here within the level blueprint. So that makes sense. So we figure out where to spawn the plate, and then what we do is we get that reference, spawn the plate, set the location, spawn the attack die, and the defend die. These locations set, we roll the dice. Let's see, so set location server, set location multi. I'm trying to remember what is bringing the camera. I'm trying to figure out exactly when this is happening. And we have a random class that we're not even using. No idea why this came up. There, just delete that. Okay, I want to come back in and figure out exactly when the camera is moving. We attack, begin the battle. So it is that begin battle that does this, which move all the die, do this, remove battle begin widgets. This is happening in the game mode. Okay, call PC to die roll camera. This may be in the PC to die camera. So we're getting all classes, get all actors of class, all of our player controllers for each loot. We're setting the target with blend. Okay, so let's print string this and grab each of our, or off of the array element, and just display. So I want to see if this event is running every time for every player controller. So begin. Okay, so we have player controller 0 and 1. Good, good. Okay, now the client attacks. Okay, so it's running to the correct amount every time. So this is running as we would expect. So I think then what we got to figure out is which of these events is bringing our camera back. So let's figure out exactly which click. battle. Comes the casualty. You lost, result casualties. Okay. So, which widget is that one? Would not be the begin. Let's see, battle preview, battle resolution. Battle outcome. Okay, so in the battle outcome, we click on continue, reset PC cameras. And when we do this, we set the view with blend back to our pawn, which is this, which makes sense. So why isn't this working? So let's just see if this location is setting every time or coming through. So good, good, good. All right, just looking for these are all the same. Again, all the same. So, oh, it's just so strange. I I don't know. I really don't get why this is a problem. Why it works once, but not a second time. Just gonna make this a server event, just to see if that changes anything. I don't know. Let's just try with the attacker going first. Good. Hmm. Okay. I guess it was just that. I don't know if I really understand why. Okay. Some weird bugs from that though, and a bunch of issues. Okay. So yeah, switches reset PC camera and your player controller switches to a server event. And I want to play this back quick. So camera should work, but I think there was a bug with how the units are dying. So run this. It's doing everything it should do. Continue, continue. He's dead. Okay, so I can't even control my client right now. Oh boy. Okay, so this was not the solution. Switches back to owning client. Um, which now we have the issue again. So I think what I'm going to do is let's pull this down. Let's do a custom event. Set PC camera. and we will make this run on client reliable. And all I want to do here is grab this and pass this through into here. And what settings did I have? Basically, we're going to replace this. So we had this set as 2 and 0. So let's just switch that to 2. Set PC camera. So then back into our level blueprint. We'll do set PC camera. Pass this through and pass that through. Okay. Let's give this a go now. And here comes the client on the attack. Back, they come back. Good. Okay. You can move around freely. Now, if I try to attack again, attack, attack. This seems to be working pretty well. The only thing that doesn't is, right, this unit should just be being killed. But camera problems are solved. And we're getting all of these errors, which again, I think go back to the widget, because it's failing to find the footman because it's pending kill. Let's see, set selected unit type. This is in the game mode. Okay, so we gotta chug through this list then. So let's figure out exactly when these errors are coming up. First, I don't think it ever happens when the attacker begins. Dies. And we end the play, 0 errors. So this is solely a client issue. Go in, we attack. Hit continue. He dies. All good. And then if we close. Okay. No issues there. So I think it's just when we try to attack again. So let's do it with the server first. I know this is a really boring, meticulous video, but these are the kind of stuff you got to do. Really in the weeds, detailed, over and over repetition, quality control checks. So when we grab this again and attack strength 1, defense strength 2, I think this is where we'll have a bunch of errors pop up. Yeah, okay. So I think what is happening, this is in our HUD. Update selected units. When is this running internally or somewhere else? Somewhere else. So let's look at our player controller and we can close out some of this stuff. Close this, close this, close this. Okay. So I think we can close this too. update selected units. This happens every time we add a selected unit. I think what could be happening is when the unit is being killed, that isn't translating to the client. So when we have our die roll casualties, we have one casualty. In this case, who do we have winning right now? The defender is winning. So the attacker wins false. It's not what's happening. We do have a casualty. Toggle casualty mode. On the completed, we're setting the number of casualties for the attacker. If the number of casualties is greater than or equal to the total units in the army, if that is true, destroy the unit, remove from the tile, remove, unselect the unit. So taking this unit, we're removing it from this array. If this, okay, so I think what I want to do, so I'll slide this over a little bit. Let's just put it down here. What's this? Update HUD. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to expand this. I'm going to drag this into here. What I want to do is drag this over. Every time this happens, drag this over. Every time we're removing a unit, we want to update HUD with selected units. Right? No brainer, obviously, but I don't think that was happening. So let's try this again. First and foremost, right? Select the unit. There he is, Spearman. Deselect him, he's gone. Grab our footman, grab our spearman, unselect the footman, unselect the spearman. Beautiful. For the server, good. Okay, so we have this footman selected. We attack. Going to lose. He should disappear from here. You're lost, your army was destroyed, but it's still here. Why on earth would that be? So this unit unselected. I'll check a couple things here quick. Append. Actually, no, that's fine. So let's make sure a unit is actually being removed. And then when we update this, print string the, oh, let's just do the length for now. Okay. Okay, none of those events ran. Why on earth would they have not? So the attacker did not win, right? Come down here. Our number of casualties is greater than 0. this is running. Think about this for a second. It might be an issue with this. Let me check one thing first. This should be running. Oops. And this should print string as true. Right, because our number of casualties should be greater than or equal to the length of our selected units. Grab this guy, we attack, begin. Okay, so this was true. What's strange though is nothing's happening, even though this should be running. Hmm, I I think it's this. Right, so if I do a print string here, we just type in a bunch of gibberish. We should see the gibberish. And then it's this decision variable. Again, that's causing us issues. Show me the gibberish. Good. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I know what the problem is. Now we just got to think about how do we fix this? So what I think the solve for this um, is when we do this, which is set the number of casualties to determine that the army is getting wiped. Wait, not this one. Yeah, this one. Army destroyed, which is our show casualty HUD client event. I think what we want to do here is then turn off the indecision, but this is a client event, so we can't run this here. Let me think here for a second. Basically, we got to think of a good place to turn off the indecision variable. Okay, actually this will work. The set number of casualty server. So yeah, I don't know why this didn't click with me earlier. Okay, so right when this is true, so let's drag this over. We will set this variable here and then set it to off. So the way this logic will work is we'll determine that, hey, there are more casualties than the amount of units in the army. That is true. We'll take off the decision to start destroying the units and then complete the routing, which effectively just cycles the turns. That should work. So now let's test this again. and see how this goes. So come in, we attack, begin the battle. And actually, this was the client that was giving us trouble. Okay, good. All that logic ran. Let's try this on the client. So again, we're checking this bottom left selected units. Equipment selected. He attacks, begins the battle. Should be removed from this, and that should clear up a lot of the errors we were having. Casualty is done. Boom. Good. Perfect. Okay. That is really good. And I'm just going to run through it one more time. We're already here. Let's just make sure. Just making sure that, each repetition, things are still working as intended. They should, but as we noticed, like with the camera, that wasn't. So don't really know why, but good. Okay. I think that is good. I'm just going to get rid of some of these print strings I have. So let's kill this. Kill this. One more somewhere. Kill this. Okay. Good. The next thing that we want to check is, let's do just switch who wins. So defender, have the attacker win, and make sure this logic works all the way through. So we'll try the server first. I think we have a casualty on. So the attacker wins. Choose casualties, one remaining. So we'll select the footman. It's dead. 0 casualties remain. Choose Tyler up to. Good. Let's just go to there. And then this unit moves in. Nice. And now let's have the client attack the server. Actually, this unit should just get wiped, and this unit moves in. Nice. Okay, that looks really good. Now, what we want to try in here is when we have 2 attackers. Oh wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Let's just do 0 casualties. I think this is the last thing we actually have to check, so after that I think we'll be in pretty good shape. So let's try with the client first. So this is attacker wins, 0 casualties. I'm going to bring in both. U1, E1, attacker resolving 0 casualties. This could say something different, right? This should probably say defender resolving 0 casualties, right? Which just means they have to route. So I think we'd have some better logic there. Oh, one thing I want to check, right? Can we? Good, right? We can't select units. See, this is a problem though. So that worked, but I'm going to show you why this is such a problem. And I'm going to be kind of thinking of what the solution is. It's probably a decision, I bet. I bet we can set that variable. Let's just see. We win. Client wins on the attack. So, my right screen, they need to pick a place, choose a tile route to. I can select this unit and this unit. Well, I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, see, right, like this guy moves, this guy doesn't. Now this is bringing up another battle. So that is a problem. And I think so. In this case, we had the attacker winning. True. There were casualties. So we're toggling casualty mode for the defending units. She's just setting them as a potential casualty. Makes sense. And then if the number of casualties is greater than 0, if true, the defending player enters casualty mode, which is saying they are in a decision. This only says no, or this is only turned false if the army's getting wiped, so that shouldn't be happening. This is a client event. Okay, I think this is what's happening. Remove from tile server, deduct casualty, destroy unit. Well, maybe not. It's not a casualty, right? This is the unit, is not a casualty, so this should be saying not cash. Then I'm going to do, I guess, another print string that's players should be in a decision. So this indecision should be true. So let's try this again. What's going on? Okay, this guy comes in, attacks. Okay, so let's look at what these print strings say. False, not casualty. False, not casualty. So this is saying he's not in a decision, right? Which he should be in a, the player controller should be in a decision. Their decision is where do we have to move our units to. So I got to figure out where this is being triggered off incorrectly. Let's do set as decision. Decision. Okay, when we attack tile, we turn on. Makes sense. When we enter casualty mode, it is turned on. Deduct casualty remaining server. So we remove the unit. I just want to see, is this happening? Toggle casualty mode. Highlight. Selected. Mode. Attack failed server. This sets the decision off. It's got to be this. I uncheck this and see if this solves the problem. I'm not saying this is the answer, but I think this will work. Come here, go again. Dang it. Gosh. It's just so. It's a very frustrating. Developing a game is very, very frustrating. Withdraw, so it won't be that. Set number of casualties. If the number of casualties is greater, this won't be happening. All right, I'm not gonna waste any more of your guys' time. Let me dig into this and I'll come back when I have a solution. Okay. Makes sense why this wasn't working. We're never telling the attacking or the defending player that they are in a decision. So, um, even though they do have a decision to make, and that is to route. So that makes a lot of sense. So when the attacker wins, um, and in this case, we do not have casualties. So it'll be this false. Go into route mode, and off of this false route mode server, this is running in the player controller. Yes, let us do this right here. So, okay, let me back up so you guys follow this. This is coming off when the attacker wins, off the completion of the loop, when there are not casualties, so it's false. Route mode server in our player controller, and at the very, very end, we're just going to attack this on. Boom. And then what I just want to check quick before we test it is, oh, I think this actually might be what breaks it because we will be in a decision. Have units selected. All right, we'll come back to this because I think this isn't going to work, but I think we can work around it. Yep, this doesn't work currently, and I'll show you. Let's go to our server. Right when I'm clicking, it's because we're in a decision. So we have this kind of double-edged sword where I don't want to be able to select the unit, but I can't be in a decision. So I wonder actually, is it a potential casualty? Here's what we're going to do. Let's come back to our player controller and let's get rid of this indecision. Let's close that. We have is routing, and I think in our game mode, this route mode, where are we telling the units that they, yeah, okay. So our units are told they're routing, right? This is a variable we have in here, routing. I think all we have to do is just add this into this logic. So basically something that's like, if you're routing, right, select as routing, then you can't be clicked. Where to put it then? I think just right at the beginning. We can do this logic. Yeah, I'm just gonna slide this over. And off of the routing, I'm gonna type in not. Make sure you do this not Boolean. So if you are not routing, right, then carry on. So you can only click on the unit if they aren't in routing mode. And they are or will be in routing mode in our example. So that should fix it. And then the only thing we just have to make sure is when we are done routing, we need that variable to be turned off for all the units. So let's look in here. Indecision, no. Unit selected, true. Move units to Okay, so complete routing. We are turning this off on the player controller. Game mode. Yeah, okay. So basically, before we do this, we need to take this, do a for each loop, and for each of these, set routing to false. Makes sense. Just got to figure out where we plug this in. Right, because if we do it after this, right, then we're clearing it. So don't want to do it there. So we have to do it before we clear our units. So I think let's just plug it in. But we only need to do it if we're routing. So I'm just going to disconnect both of these. I'm going to bring this branch up. So are we routing? If yes, do this, turn this off, and then off of the complete, do this complete routing, which this does what? Tells the game mode we're done. So after that complete, we can run this logic, and then we also just need to plug this in. And let's reroute this. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to move this behind. That's how we had that's how we had this originally, at least. Okay. I think this should work. This is running on the server. Okay. It's good to go. So here comes the client. They attack. Again. Moment of truth. Good. I cannot click on them. This player can't click. And can we route? Boom. We can. This unit moves in. Awesome. Okay. I think we went through every scenario and have this running a lot better. Right. There's still some things I think visually with the widgets and even movement that could be touched up, but um, we've got the um, really the biggest part. I mean, I think this is probably the most complex part of this whole tutorial, is doing this, other than maybe setting up the multiplayer server creation and all that fun stuff. But this is good. So I think I'm going to end this video here. Just a debug video, really boring, really meticulous, but really important that we did that quality control check. Next, I am going to work on the capturing. So capture 2 of the 3, game's over, work on that, and then we'll get into building units, and, or more accurately, purchasing units, and then after that, we'll get into the economy part of the game, which will tie in with turns, with the turns actually having some sort of effect. So yeah, that should be a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, I feel really good to have this part done. So um, thanks for watching, and yeah, like, subscribe, and let me know if you have any issues, and I'll be happy to help. Thanks.